MTV, Velocities and Music. Today we're going to do an album that's actually came out a 2 months ago? Somewhere around there. It's been out for a few weeks now, but got a lot of buzz, a lot of good reviews, and it's in a style that this guy right here just loves, and I forced Tom to listen to it because, you know, sometimes you make me listen to some heavy metal,
yeah,
and all of a sudden I'm a metalhead.
That's why we do this.
This album is Marissa Nadler's fifth album, self-titled. And I think that the best way to describe Marissa Nadler's sound on Marissa Nadler is it's definitely of the folk aesthetic, but she puts a spin to it that has been very coyly dubbed dream folk, which I find to be quite great.
Yeah, it's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, because there's a lot of elements of dream pop. Almost, you know, I get like this atmospheric, almost Mercury Rev vibe to these songs, but it's using folk instruments and emphasis on great production to give it the second element. But I do want to say that not all the songs are like that. Some of these songs are very much just traditional folk tracks, but the clear highlight to me on this album, Tom, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, but is Marissa's vocals. They're
great, yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, that to me is the clear highlight. But that is pretty normal for music like this to have great vocals, and something that I value because...
But even it's not just the quality of her voice, it's the variety that she's able to play on from song to song. I mean, you've got some songs that have that kind of Joanna Newsom whimsical aspect of them. You've got some songs that are a little more darker, brooding, maybe kind of St. Vincent-esque. And then you've got the straight up, what I would compare to maybe like Nico Case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of traditional folk Americana, you know, but it all flows, and I like that. I like that she can pull all those off and have the tact to use different instruments and know, according to her songwriting, what instruments to use for each song, you know, what kind of emotion and mood to put in her voice. I mean, it's very well thought out. She's just, you can tell she looks at this very clearly.
Right, a lot of beautiful finger-picked acoustic guitar, but even on some of those more dream folk tracks where that get kind of even a little airy and spacey, you get some like really nice keys and even some Pink Floyd-esque drum fills that are just, you know, it's something to be reckoned with, and something that's highly unique on the dream folk part. But that's kind of where a little bit of my criticism comes into play. And Tom, jump onto this. I know that you kind of agree with me here. But one of the things I had a problem with is that the songs that were folk songs sounded a little bit too in a box for me to really fall in love with, because it's just like she was doing it just to keep up with the style, and it did it, and it was fine, and the songwriting was there, but it didn't do anything with it, so there was a limitation by its own scope. It was almost too safe. And to me, I would have liked to see more of that, but I think what does make up for some of that is just the fantastic production that was laid on these songs. A clean reverb on her vocals that just kind of lets everything blend and washes it all together with all the different guitars, and just everything sounds so clean and full and nice, well-rounded. There's good mixing levels between the bass and all the other instruments, and that's something that I'm really looking for, especially with a folk album, is just great production.
Now, my big complaint and I just got done saying something very similar about Woo Life, which we reviewed in our last episode. And now I want to say this is not near to the extremity that I thought Woo Life had of this trait. But I think that once again, this is something where people are more enamored with the sound and the mood and the genre than the actual songwriting. For me, I didn't think the songwriting was by any means bad, but I didn't think it was by any means worth the like 86 or something that this has on Metacritic. I mean,
that's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's good. It is good. I don't think there are any terrible tracks on here, but I find that there are only a few that really grasp me and make me go, wow, you know, this is a really memorable, powerful song. The other ones are good, but they're just kind of there, and they're enjoyable to listen to. And then it's the production and that presentation of that song that really pushes it over the edge.
It's so important.
Exactly.
And Tom, maybe we're just hard asses. I mean, what do you guys think? Leave us a comment. I'm interested to hear. I don't know how we sit maybe in comparison, but I know that Tom and I don't exactly go with the whole, oh, this is new, we try to find reasons on top of that as to why we like or dislike something, and hopefully give a more well-rounded opinion. That's our goal here, and that's what we think this is at. And I really like this. This is my type of album. I was telling Tom before we turned the camera on, I love that she's able to make this multi-dimensional and not just another folk album, which would have been very good still, probably lower 70s or 70, but just the fact that she gives us another dimension, she gives the listener something else to latch onto and takes it somewhere on a few tracks. I wish she would have done it a little more and incorporated more instead of having such a static aspect to it. But it's still like it. I'm going 80.
I'm going 75.
Right. So that puts that upper 70s, and I feel like that's actually a really accurate place of where I would place this album in recommendation to you guys. What did you think of it? Have you listened to Marissa Nadler's 5th album? I'm interested to hear your opinions and what you think of the whole concept of dream folk and what she should have done with it, or if you loved it, tell us at www.velocitiesandmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. Facebook, Twitter, you should check those out down there. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.